What's up guys, Edwin Edwards back again with another video. So guys, this video is just a continuation of my previous videos, so I encourage you that in case you haven't watched my previous videos, please go watch, subscribe, share to your family, share to care, because they are very important. While no one is talking about what's going on in the world, this channel is talking about what's going on in the world and what might happen. All right. So as you know, previously I've been talking about, mainly I've been focusing on a virus, all right? But before we continue, I feel it's good we give this virus a name. So we're gonna give it the X virus, all right? Disclaimer, this video is meant for only entertainment purposes and feel free to do whatever you want with the information you get. Otherwise, I'm trying to just raise awareness to keep you guys vigilant, and I'm trying to talk about things that no one is talking about, right? Because previously the things I've talked about are the things that people are calling me crazy, people are calling me mad, people are calling me negative. But guys, if you don't stay vigilant, then you might be caught up with the unseen things that might happen to this world, alright? So before we continue, we're gonna give this virus a name, alright? So we're gonna give it a name like let's call it the X virus, all right? So guys, today I want to focus on what to expect in case the X virus hits the world, all right? So the first thing that might happen or will happen, of course, you have seen it with the COVID-19. When COVID-19 came, what happened? People lost their lives. So of course, you're gonna see people losing their lives, all right? So it's important you keep healthy, you eat well, you exercise, you monitor your weight, you monitor your what you're consuming in your body, take your supplements, all right? So those are some of the things I talked about on my previous videos. And the next thing I talked about food. Yeah, no, storage of food, right? But if you go back to the video, you realize I talk about dry foods. Why am I talking about a dry food, guys? It's because, guys, if you imagine you're in a situation where you've lost electricity for maybe 1 or 2 weeks, right? And you store your food on the refrigerator. So what do you expect to happen? All the food that you have stored in the refrigerator will probably expire. So you're gonna you have to try and be storing dry foods that can be staying for a long time without being without being chilled, all right, without being frozen, all right? So that is the second thing. And the third thing, I feel that we should be vigilant. Speaking of fridge, you're talking about electricity, guys, right? So about how about we invest on things like the solar system? Because if you imagine you're in a situation where you're losing electricity for more than 1 week or more than 2 weeks, all right? I believe if you're losing electricity for such a long period of time, you will need a backup. And what will your backup be? It's either a generator, right? A generator. You can have a generator in your house, or you can have a solar system. Solar system also will be helpful for the long term because solar uses the sun. The electric generator, uses the gasoline. And if you imagine, if people let's say people have been told not to go outside, right? There is a lockdown. So what do you expect? You cannot go outside, you cannot purchase anything, you cannot move around, all right? So I think the best thing you can have in your house is to make sure you have the solar system. I also talked about saving of cash, right? As you know, majority of the jobs we have, I call them employment, I call them businesses, whatever the thing you're doing, all these things are temporary, right? Especially those of you who are employed. You're gonna stay vigilant because, as I mentioned on my previous video, for me, when COVID struck, I lost my job. But either way, I was expecting that I will lose my job. So if you previously lost your job, what is expected of you now is that you should keep the money aside with you. Well, I think money won't be that important in such a situation. um, it's important you have some good money which can keep you surviving with your family up to 6 months, because I think that is the best range. And I'm talking about the guidance that I've been given by my own parents who raised me, that you should have some money aside in case anything happens. Say you lose your job, at least you wouldn't have to worry on what your family will eat for the next 6 months, right? So the next thing you will expect if the X virus hits the world, of course, the market is going to crash. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the euro. I'm talking about the US dollar. These are some of the things I expect to happen, because normally the world currencies are normally affected by the news. All right, we're talking about the bombings, anything negative happening, it has to affect the market in a negative way. Another thing, there are gonna be lockdowns. Okay, there are gonna be lockdowns because previously it happens. Remember, no one could fly, no one could move around the world, no one could do anything. And that is why I also talked about making sure you're on the right path with God. I don't know the God you serve, but for me, I serve my God. And I think I'm on the right track with Him, because it's only sometimes, not sometimes, actually, at all times, it's only God who can save us from certain situations, all right? And while nobody is talking about these things, I think it's good we discuss these things, right? It's good to engage and talk about the things that nobody is talking about, guys. So I just want to encourage you guys to remain vigilant, to focus on the right things, to focus on the right battles, because a lot of people are fighting the wrong battles. I said it in the first thing. Not only families, even at work, people will hate you for no reason. I know you're going through, but having an enemy or enemies is part of life. I mean, if you are not a normal person, you wouldn't have enemies. So sometimes we need to have enemies for personal growth, right? So the next thing that I expect to happen, there might be lots of hunger might hit the world, because if the economy crashes, I think the next thing you'll expect is that majority of the people wouldn't be able to afford rent. It happens previously where some of the landlords had to waiver for the tenants, because now in that period of lockdown, nobody was working, nothing was working anywhere, nobody was going out, no businesses were working. So some of these people had to waiver the rent. So it's good at least you try and build something at home, maybe in your rural area, all right? Because in your rural area, that is the place where we got most of the natural food. Which brings me to another point where you can plant natural foods, because now the foods that are coming in from other countries, most of them are GMOs. Okay, they are chemically made. They have lots of harmful things. So if you're in an opportunity to have your own farm and farm your fresh products and consume your fresh products, I think it will be good for you. All right. And then another thing I'm thinking about, this one is even in the news. We're talking about the digital IDs. So the digital IDs are about to come, and I'm trying to think, do our governments know on what's coming? Because some of these countries are purchasing lots of things, they are importing lots of things. Imagine a country that has been a provider of a certain food. Now it's taking food from another country to its own country, which means some of these things that happen in this world, some people already have a clue on what's coming. All right, because before COVID struck, I believe this Robert Kiyosaki actually not professor, he predicted this and it came to pass. So majority of the people of the elites, they already know what's coming in this world, and they try to tell us. Even in the TV, if you have seen The Simpsons, I know majority of you know The Simpsons, you know, and I talked about some of these things we watch on the television. They try to communicate something to us while we're just ignorant, you know. And when you get to see some of these things, this calls for paying attention and being vigilant, and fighting the right battles, you know, because this world is full of surprises, right? You might wake up today and you find out that you had everything, you are rich, but tomorrow again you wake up, you're back to being poor. So, but this video is not meant to discourage you guys. This video is just, it's just a positive video to raise awareness, because these are some of the things, and I said it many times, these are some of the things that nobody is talking about. And I feel that if I'm in a position where I'm observing something and I've seen certain events taking place similarly to the previous 4 years, I think it's good I raise awareness, and that is why I'm trying to raise awareness. And the last thing, there will be panic, you know. If you've seen previously with the COVID, before it became so serious, right? People start panicking, right? So imagine you're in a situation where now you know something is coming, and you have seen it previously. So what will be your reaction? People will rush to do shopping, which means that the supermarkets will be overcrowded with people trying to secure their foods, all right? And there is a higher probability that the supermarkets will become empty, right? For me, I think it will be like that. They will become empty. And so if people are scrambling to get things to store in the house and blah, 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 what do you expect to happen? There will be food shortages. There'll be confusion. There'll be confusion. And then I'm thinking of a cashless society, right? A cashless society. So imagine you're in a situation where now they're saying, if you touch, if I touch the money and you touch the money, or we touch each other, we're in a risk of contracting the X virus, right? So the thing they're gonna tell you now, we're gonna do what we're gonna do. We are not going to accept money anymore. We are going to have a cashless society where we are going to be dealing with only digital money. All right, which makes me think, and now we are also in the digital age, which brings in a probability or a possibility that it might happen, because you know this world is a system. Just so you know, this world is a system, and some of these things, they just tell you this is what is coming, right? And this thing about the cashless society, it has been mentioned through decades and decades, but we have had a lot of advancements since the beginning of time, where we had barter trade, where we exchange. And now we're in a situation where the society now is focused on using money digitally, either through phones, mobile wallets, ATMs. All right. So I'm thinking that we are going to have an age where there will be no cash anymore. There will be no money. Everything will be digital. So I encourage you guys to stay healthy, stay vigilant, keep praying to God. If you do pray, keep praying to God, because in some situation I feel like it's only God that can save us. You understand? So I want to appreciate your time. I want to appreciate you. I got lots of things to say. All right. And I think I will keep on saying in patch by patch by patch while I try to raise awareness on this. Okay, this is solely based on my own research. So if you want to do your research, I encourage you to do your own research. So for me, I did my own research and I'm just trying to raise awareness on my fans. So if you want to see videos like this, please don't forget to subscribe, share to your families. I wanted to talk more, but I've seen this video is already 15 minutes. And just so you know, I'm not even editing my videos. I'm just doing raw and posting raw because I don't even have the time to edit. So guys, I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate your time. I want to appreciate also those who are watching without subscribing. I do appreciate so much. So thank you for your time. I love you guys. Peace.